I can invite Headlines Today's psephologist, Professor Surjit Bhalla, to join me. I want to take you through the figures for Delhi first, where we are hearing that Sheila Dikshit has stepped down as Chief Minister of Delhi, and that, in a sense, was inevitable given the fact that her party has been trounced. Those are the figures. The Congress trailing on 32 seats it won last time. The BJP's gain is only 9. The biggest gainer of this election, sir, the Aam Aadmi Party. Talk us through these figures.
Look, as I said earlier, two things actually. One is that there seems to be about 5 or 6 seats that are really changing hands every 1 second or so. And if you will, equally divided between the Congress, which is actually gaining. It goes down to 9, comes up to 11. The Aam Aadmi Party goes up to 26, 27, comes down to 22, 23, and the BJP between 31 and 35. But the message is very, very clear. This thing is very, very unlikely to change. The final figure will be the BJP in the 30s and the Aam Aadmi Party in the 20s.
There are two things which are important. One, Arvind Kejriwal is winning in New Delhi, Sheila Dikshit is losing. And the second is the figure that I've just put up on our screen. This is important because this graphic explains whom the Aam Aadmi Party is damaging. 14 of the seats that the Aam Aadmi Party is leading on have been snatched away from the Congress. 10 of the seats the Aam Aadmi Party is leading on have been taken away from the BJP. They're damaging both, sir.
Well, I have a different interpretation of this, and for the simple reason that the BJP is gaining in seats over what had happened last time. They got, I think, 23 seats, so they're gaining. So I don't know. We'll have to look for the vote figures in order to really answer the important question as to who did the Aam Aadmi take the votes from. From the seats, you can't tell because they're gaining. So it is some of the seats, if you will, that the BJP is losing. If to Aam Aadmi Party,
I'm saying that there were 10 seats where there were sitting BJP MLAs. Those now have been snatched away from the Aam Aadmi Party.
They may not sitting in.
But the Aam Aadmi Party is damaging the BJP as well. This is an important graphic as well because this shows on the seats where Rahul Gandhi campaigned, how are the Congress candidates doing? They're losing in 9 of those seats. They're winning only in 2. Rahul's strike rate is an abysmal 10%. Serious question.
This is, you know, as I said, this will become the talking point. Is Rahul Gandhi going to be representing the Congress in the 2014 election?
They don't have a choice.
We'll just wait and find out. You know, maybe the Congress, as they said, they will do introspection. Maybe part of the introspection is maybe they want somebody not from the Gandhi family as a leader of their party. I don't know. If introspection means anything, you will look at the data.
Sonia Gandhi's strike rate, Shiv Vishwanathan, is much better. Her strike rate is 40%. Rahul Gandhi's strike rate is only 10%, which shows that the mother actually is being able to convert more of her rallies into seats for the Congress. That's what it appears from these figures.
No, if it's 40%, it's basically you're still losing.
Oh, absolutely. 6 out of 10. But it's a lot better than Rahul Gandhi's strike rate. Let's listen to Shiv Vishwanathan's
But then you're comparing to 0,
sure,
and it's very easy to be better than 0.
Maybe Rahul is a better loser than Sonia Gandhi.
Let's look at Modi's strike rate just for a moment. Here's the Narendra Modi strike rate. The BJP winning 6 extra seats. He has a strike rate of 47.5. I want to go across to Maha Siddiqui. She's at Sheila Dikshit's residence. Mrs. Dikshit has just stepped down as Chief Minister. Take our viewers through the atmospherics at the residence of the 3 times Chief Minister of Delhi. Maha.
Rahul, it's just the same since morning. There's stunned silence here at Sheila Dikshit's residence. There has been nobody who's come into her residence this morning except for one car which had Sandeep Dikshit's wife and Sandeep Dikshit's little dog in that car. The dog was the only person who, only living being really excited over here. Everybody else is showing absolutely stunned silence. The reporters are not even being allowed to go anywhere close to the gate because they are saying that people inside are in a terrible mood at this point in time, and nobody wants to interact with us at the moment. But after Sheila Dikshit has sent her resignation to the LG, we are expecting that she will step out at some time and will be speaking with us, accepting her defeat in public.
Well, you know, from the dog's selfish perspective, it'll have more time with everyone in the house, but that's really just unfair because she's been Chief Minister thrice, she's down, but that's also because of a whole host of other factors. I want to put this graphic up on our screen. This deals with the areas of Delhi where the Aam Aadmi Party is actually doing well. Now, if you look at this, in the outer peripheries of Delhi, that's the orange that you see on the screen, that's where the BJP has done well. The Aam Aadmi Party has actually entered the middle areas and also on the western periphery. That's where the Aam Aadmi Party seems to be picking up its seats from. Very commendable. They almost have a pan-state presence.
Yeah, well, two observations. One is that later on we need to find out how the young voters are voting, because the speculation is, or the hypothesis is, that a lot of the young voters went to the Aam Aadmi Party. So that's number one. Number two, especially in Delhi, we need to find out how Nota did, because this was the first time.
Well, unfortunately, the EC is not providing live feeds for Nota, so we can pull these graphics out immediately.
Yeah, and I think later on, this will become part of analysis as to what happened in Delhi, depending on what the Nota gets. But that won't take away from how Aam Aadmi Party has done, regardless of how Nota is. But it will give us a perspective as to who voted.
Sure. I just pulled out these figures from Chhattisgarh.
Yeah.
The headlines today, exit poll, if I can talk about that, had predicted that this would happen. The Congress is actually leading at 50, the BJP at 39. This is the only piece of good news, Veer Sanghvi, that the Congress has got all day today.
Yeah, in fact, when we did the exit poll program, we talked about it. We thought there might be a sympathy factor, there might be anti-incumbency, there might be a sense that the government had failed to secure law and order, given that the entire Congress front bench was pretty much assassinated. But we also said at that time that the exit poll would probably get the result wrong, because the exit pollsters don't send people to tribal areas, to Bastar or wherever, to find out what's happened. So at one level, no surprises there.